Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon for all of you from all over the world. Welcome today here at our webinar called English Teaching Enhanced by AI, a new era for English teachers. Today we are here with my colleagues from the team of BOOKR. As probably many of you know, but if you don't know yet, then you're about to. We are representing a solution called BOOKR Class, which is a two-in-one platform to teach English as a foreign language, and which is a platform to help you teachers in your work and mainly your students to improve their language skills without really even noticing it. I am your host today. My name is Anna Boldog, and I am head of customer success currently at BOOKR. And I've been here actually for a very long time. And since we started working on this product together with my colleague Kinga, who's also here with me today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kinga Kramer. I'm an English teacher, a learning curriculum designer, and a materials writer in the educational team at BOOKR. I've been working on this product for 6 years now, I think. And I'm responsible for the educational quality of the books and the extra supporting materials. So I'm going to be covering those parts of the webinar. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the webinar.
And we are actually curious to know about you too. I am browsing through the list of attendees. I can see we have a lot of participants from Romania this time. I also see some of our friends from Malaysia, from India, from South Korea. So if you could just send a note on where you are from, where you are joining in today, that would be lovely. This is my personal favorite part, to be honest, of the webinars, when I see all the countries popping up. It's 9 a.m. here in Budapest. I know that it's relatively early for half of the world, but we also need to pick a side, unfortunately. Gozo Malta, hi. Nice to see you too. India, Romania, Spain, Romania, Malaysia, Greece, France. Bonjour. Very nice to see all of you. And I'm pretty sure, wow, Tokyo. Okay, that's very nice. Hi, Safir. Great. We have so many attendees continuously joining. We are about to start, but we record this session, so you will be able to watch it later on too, and your colleagues as well. So today, as I mentioned already, we are going to take a look at BOOKR Class and what it has to offer to you in your English teaching. And we are going to have a special highlight on our newly released AI-related features, because AI is something that you cannot pass by anymore. It's something that's with us. And we believe that it's something also that we can just take advantage of. So we started implementing some features that are basically based on artificial intelligence. So we are going to show you those as well today. We are also going to talk a bit about how you can implement BOOKR Class into your English teaching, because that's what matters the most, that we want to help you in your work. And if you have any questions, let us know. There's a Q&A section here that you can use. So for your questions, please use that part. And you also submitted quite a few questions already in your registrations. When preparing for the webinar, we already tried to look for these and answer these. But if there's any that remains unanswered, then feel free to let us know, and we will also be careful about them. Egypt, India, Catalonia, Turkey, Ukraine, Romania. Very nice. So let's get started now. I will share my screen to share a bit of information with you about how it all started, actually. So BOOKR Kids as a company was founded in 2015 by these two young people on the picture, Dorka and Dani. And what they noticed around them is that children don't read, and there's not really enough engaging materials that would match the needs of their 21st century interest. And they did want children to read, because Dorka is coming from a publishing family. They know that that reading is important. So they started to think of how we can combine the traditional values of books that are adapted to the 21st century needs. And this is how our educational solutions and applications started to come to life. with the mission of making reading a habit. And first, we created an application for Hungary, targeting families based on already existing and popular print children's books. We turned them into digital books. And continuously, we created more and more solutions focusing more on education. So right now, what we do is that we create engaging educational apps that are based on storytelling. That's a common characteristic of each of them, to develop language skills, literacy, and reading comprehension. In 2018, there was a lot of research done with the format that we are using. We were working together with 3 universities, with kindergarten and primary school teachers, and we found that actually this animated, engaging format is capable of maintaining the children's attention on a much longer run than traditional books. And the kids even performed much better in reading comprehension tests. So this was the moment when we realized that it's actually something we must implement in education, because it's something that they can really take good use of. And what was also an important figure is that 98% of the kids loved reading with BOOKR Class. So it meant that that just by them loving reading with it, they read more as well. So they are much more engaged with the books, and they are much more exposed to texts and reading and literature when they are using an interactive, engaging solution. Following the research, we also created some literacy apps here in Hungary. And then BOOKR Class during the pandemic was approved as an official supporting material. So right now it's used all over the country in public education. So that was a big achievement. And then we were evaluated by Education Alliance Finland, which is a very important milestone for us, because, you know, education in Finland is something that stands strong. And we received the highest score back then, 96% for pedagogical approach and 4.25 for learning engagement. So they also found that BOOKR Class is something to use in education. This evaluation was done by independent teachers. So they went through every single bit of the application. So now let's move on to talk a bit about stories and why they are important in language teaching. Kinga, can you tell a bit more about this for us, and how these values and perspectives are represented in BOOKR Class?
Right. So as we all know, stories are our cultural heritage. They have always been informative, they have always been educational and meaningful. And the storytelling sessions have always been the cornerstones of learning and generally of communities and families. And it has been like this from the beginning of our history until today. And this is what we would like to preserve in the BOOKR Class application. And these are the traditional values that we appreciate the most. So we carefully select the stories and the texts and the books that we include in our library. They all have a clear message, and they all teach about the world and the people in it in this familiar storytelling way. Stories are also authentic input, and they showcase natural language. So we also have all the books with a natural flow of text. And even though they are all simplified and graded readers, they are still natural. So it has also been proven by research that there is nothing unnatural or unauthentic in the case of graded readers. They help the students access the language at their level. So this is really nice. The third point is that reading, understanding, and interpreting stories improves literacy and thinking skills. And we also have in our library a variety of books, a variety of text types and topics as well, to improve these academic and soft skills. And last but not least, stories improve social emotional learning, which is crucial in the 21st century. As students read the stories, they feel with the characters. They try to understand their motives, their choices. They evaluate themselves as well. And this way, their interpersonal and intrapersonal skills all develop. And this is why we also have many stories that have a very strong emotional impact on students and that can generate discussion. in the classroom. And actually, these 4 points that I have mentioned here are based on Irma Gond's summary of why we should use literature in the and storytelling in the classroom. And she said, and I just love this quote, that stories not only influence language skills and literacy, but also shape the reader's worldview. And literature acts as a changing agent for students, and they can become bridge builders in our communities through all the skills they can acquire by reading.
Thank you, Kinga. Yes, so these are basically the foundations that BOOKR Class is also built on. We believe that storytelling is incredibly important in the student's life. So this is how we put together this application, BOOKR Class, which consists of a library application that includes more than 1,000 animated storybooks, flashcards, songs, and nursery rhymes. The teacher's dashboard that is created for teachers, and it includes statistics, assignments, assessments for the students, and we have a lot of supporting materials as well, both on the technical side and on the methodological side for the students. So the library itself that we offer includes around, as I mentioned, 1,000 storybooks in the library. It's all from different genres, such as classic stories, storybooks. We have a lot of content and language integrated learning. We have civilizational stories, all offered for kids between 4 to 14 years old and from beginner to intermediate proficiency level. It's very important in BOOKR Class that every book, almost every book, is a graded reader. So every book is aligned with CEFR and Lexile levels. They are created to match the needs and the proficiency level of the learners. They are somewhat simplified, but as Kinga just mentioned, there is no harm in it because it's still as close to authentic as possible. So we cover a lot of different genres, a lot of different topics. The range of topics is quite diverse. We really want the kids to travel the world a bit with these content and to get familiar with as many different topics as possible. So these more than 1,000 books are put on or organized on 9 levels based on the age group and the proficiency level of the children. And if aligned with CFR, they go from pre-A1 to around B1, B2 in proficiency level. That's very important. And Lexile is represented in the placement test, which I will show you later on as well. Here again, a slide about the content, classic and modern world literature, culture, civilization, and everyday life, content and language integrated learning. And around 80% of the content is created completely by the BOOKR team. We have a very careful production workflow. Kinga is in the team, in the education team. They start the work, they write the text, or they edit the text. They make sure they are aligned and grammatically accurate and like proficiency level wise, it's accurate. Then it all goes on to the production team who animates it, draws it with a very strong cooperation with the educational team. So every single book that comes out of our factory is very, very carefully crafted. However, around 20% of the books are coming from content providers, such as Oxford University Press, White Star Kids from Italy, Colin Peapod readers. These books are just around the corner in the app. We have some Moomin titles and some Planet Pop dancing, singing titles as well in the library. What's very unique about BOOKR and BOOKR Class is the format itself that we are using. That's what makes it outstanding and special, especially on the market, because every single book that we create includes the animations, the illustrations, of course, the animation, the text highlighting, the authentic narration, which is British or American English most of the time, definitely not AI generated. It's very important for us that it's real people. And we have some sound effects, music, and then at the end of each story, we have educational games. We are, of course, going to show you some books because that's how it's the most visible what we do. And Kinga will also share a bit more about why these features are important and how they all come together and support the learning process. How does AI appear in BOOKR at the moment? So as I mentioned, it's only a French word that comes to my mind, incontournable. So you cannot really pass by AI anymore, artificial intelligence. It's something that's present in our everyday life. And we believe that you can actually make and create really user-friendly and practical tools using AI. And it can save you and the children's a lot of time, actually. So some of the features that we just improved or implemented, some are not pictured on this slide. One is the recommendation system that was improved based on AI. Now we are more carefully taking a look at what the kids were reading before, and we are also matching their taste with other similar students' tastes so we can make the best book recommendations. We implemented a reading comprehension test option into the teacher's dashboard, where you can generate reading comprehension tests to your students based on selected books. It works the same for the vocabulary test. You can pick the books and the AI just gives you the keywords of the books, and then you can print this out for the students. There's a word annotation where the kids can see the definition of the given words on the book's level. So it can be a simplified definition as well. And we also introduced and are about to introduce some more reading based exercises that I will show you soon. And it was really nice when we found out that we were actually nominated for Better Words AI in Education category as a finalist. It was a really big achievement for us because this is how we know that these efforts that we put into product development didn't go unnoticed. So it was a big achievement. But now let me show the application to you. So here it is. This is the MacBook version for me. This question comes up quite a lot on what devices the platform is available. It's available on Android and iOS smartphones and tablets, as well as on Mac and Windows computers from the Microsoft Store and the App Store. And we also have a browser-based version if none of the other options work. So it's quite device agnostic. It's almost in every environment you can use it. So this is the app that you see here. You see the hundreds and hundreds of books of different categories and genres, different illustration styles, different topics. Here you can pick the level that you would like to see. And I'm going to go to my books because I would like to show you one book to start with. It's going to be Walter's Trip from level 1. So this is a beginner level book. You can see that it's pre-A1. We are going to take a look at a few pages of this, and then we are going to show you the special features in it.
Walter's Trip. This is Walter, the water drop. He likes trips. Join him. Walter's home is the lake. I'm ready for the trip. He goes up. He likes the sun. I'm hot. I'm light. It is warm. Walter goes up, up, up. Woohoo! He meets friends. Hi. Hello. Good morning.
It is also possible to turn off the text highlighting or the narration if you would like. I am now going to turn off the narration because this is how we can continue talking and explaining what we see here. So the features that you see are available in every single book in the library. It's also very important. And I would like to ask Kinga again to explain what we see feature-wise and also what we see content-wise in the book.
Right, so let's start with the features. You can see that they are really artistic illustrations, which have which are spiced up so that the younger students can enjoy them. So it's always relevant and fits the students' needs and age range. The animation is carefully synchronized with the text, so it helps understanding, and the narration is authentic but at the right phase for beginner language learners. And there are also sound effects and the text highlighting that you can turn on and off. This complex scaffolding with all these supporting features works magic with children with difficulties as well. Research has shown that they are more willing to read when it comes to interactive books. And even if they are unmotivated, this actually sounds fun and helps them get started on their reading journey. If we look at this book in particular, this is a content and language integrated learning book, actually, that combines the science of the water cycle and some useful expressions and basic sentence structures. From the language learning perspective, it is very simple worded. You can see that there are like 1 or 2 phrases in one bubble on one page. So it's easy to understand what is going on. It's easy to follow, and there's a lot of repetition in it as well. And all the games that will come after are built on this particular story and this particular vocabulary set.
Thank you, Kinga. Very good timing also, because the games are just
Turn the
here.
page for some games.
Oh, but before the games, let me show you one of the features that I mentioned already, the word annotation. So this is what you see here when we turn off the narration. The text appears and there are dotted, underlined words in it. So here you can click these words: lake, a large body of water surrounded by land, or back, returning to a previous place or position. So you see the definitions in English, but it's always on a relatively, I mean, here in the case of a level 1 book, it's relatively simple, trying to explain it to the kids in a way they might understand it. But in any case, the kids can always rely on the illustrations as well, as we mentioned. So it's very important that all these features support each other. If the kids get stuck with reading, they can just rely on the illustrations and animations.
Also,
The
I just
page
forgot.
games.
Yes.
I forgot to say that actually with these features that we are all able to turn on and off, it is a wonderful way for self-differentiation, because some students rely on all the features, but other students rely only on the pictures they see or only on the text itself. So if they turn off the narration, then they can read it. If they just listen and they don't read the text, then they are listening, so the listening skills can improve. There are various ways to use the application and its books due to these scaffolding features.
Thank you, Kinga. And as for the games, we have around at least 4 educational games in every story, and every game supports a different learning skill or language skill. Let's say one would develop vocabulary, while the other one would focus on grammar, reading comprehension, or listening comprehension. And again, each and every book includes these games, and they are all different. We have something like 20, 30 game engines that we combine in kind of endlessly. So you will see that we have many different kinds of games targeting different skills. So let's take a look at the first one.
Meet water. What does water say? Match the pictures to the bubbles.
Hi, hello.
So you have a bit of audio support here too, in case
Yay.
the kids need it. And these are all expressions from the book.
Ouch.
You have the countdown.
Woohoo.
Excellent. Yeah.
And
Woo.
I wanted to do this game entirely because I wanted you to see the bunny at the end. So we do a lot of positive affirmation for the kids, a positive feedback for them if they did well. But Kinga, if you have anything to say about this game, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that this game is vocabulary focused and it concentrates on the useful exclamatory words from the story, which is a fun little activity at the beginning. But let's see the next one.
Walter's trip is fun. He likes it. Where does he go? Walter is ready in the lake. Walter is in the cloud.
Inga, what do we see here?
Oh, this is actually the comprehension check exercise. As you can see, there are pictures, so you would say that there's no real reading here, but if you drag the picture, you can listen to the sentence. So if the students cannot read, they can listen to it. And this is a simple picture ordering activity for the youngest ones, summarizing the story itself and putting the events in the correct order.
Mhm.
Walter likes moving. He goes to new places. He goes up and he goes down. Listen and choose. The water drop is in the lake. Then it goes up into the sky.
This is a listening activity, a listening quiz with a vocabulary focus of up and down. If the students can hear these words out from a whole sentence, and then they can just choose the correct option.
Mhm. Thank you.
They can listen to the recording as many times as they want. And this last one is a puzzle, a cognitive skill improvement with the water cycle itself. And once it's completed, the bunny will pop up. So as you could see, all the games are tailored not only to the story, but to the difficulty level of the story as well. So the instructions are easy to understand for the youngest ones as well. The instructions as well as the items are all narrated at the lower levels. And the games fit the book's needs. So in each of our books, there are a different set of games depending on what we have in the book. So it's tailored to its content. And the bunny gives immediate feedback every time someone completes an activity. And except for the quizzes, in all of our games, the wrong answers pop back.
Mhm.
So the students can try again. So success is guaranteed.
And let's not forget to mention that actually in the teacher's dashboard, you as a teacher can track whatever the students do in the app. So you see how much time the kids spend in that certain book, if they actually read it completely or just started, and if they also completed the exercises or not.
The end.
This is the end of the book. If this is the first time I read the book, I also receive some points and badges for further motivation, but I read this one 1,000 times, so now it only gives me some recommendations based on my preferences. And now let's take a look at the higher level books, so you also get familiar with something slightly different as well. We picked a book in a field of dandelions from level 5. It's already an A2 level. I would say that's pre-intermediate.
It's elementary, yes, almost.
Elementary. Oh, you have to turn the narration back on.
In a field of dandelions, what can I wish for? Little seeds of dandelion, into the wind you go. I haven't been up high in a hot air balloon. Not yet. Should I wish that on my dandelion? I hope I won't regret. I haven't slept under the starry sky. Not yet. Should I wish that on my dandelion? I hope I won't regret.
Yes, this is a lovely book. It shows the journey through wonderful sights in our imagination, unfortunately, only by wishing on dandelion seeds. If you look at it, it is a poem. It is more text heavy than the previous one, but still not very challenging because of the format itself. And language-wise, the poem teaches the names of these sites and special places, and it has also a focus on present perfect. So it is a form-focused poem written by our team, while Water Strip was a meaning-focused poem with the focus mostly on the water cycle.
I really love, I'm always fascinated by hearing this information from the education team, even though I've heard it a lot, but I really like how all the books are really thoughtfully crafted, even in terms of the content itself, the text itself, the focus of the text, the story, I mean, the illustrations and how it looks like. And that from the outside, you don't really notice this. So you don't really notice how much effort is put into these books. You just really enjoy and really without noticing, just pick up the language from it.
Yes, it's been a long work, and actually most of these specificities that we have developed throughout the years come from feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a lot of feedback. If there's a book about present simple, there's a book about this and that, and then we just think of structuring it and making it available for you. So it's really nice and very, very useful for us to get some feedback from you so that we can improve the app and tailor it to your needs as you are the users.
Kind of co-creation, basically. Great.
I haven't seen the northern lights in Iceland. Not yet. Should I wish that on my dandelion? I hope I won't regret. In a field of dandelions, I cannot wish for more. Little seeds of dandelion, make my dreams come true.
Turn the page for some games.
Can I go on to the games?
Yeah, sure. Let's quickly see what we have
What does
here.
Elena wish for? Listen and choose.
I haven't been up high in a hot air balloon. Not yet.
This is a listening quiz based on the comprehension of the story and the expressions that it was concentrated on the special places and sites. So here there are 3 options because this is a level 5 book, and you could see that the recording is also slightly longer.
Do you remember the poem? Put the words in the correct order.
This one is a grammar-focused activity. It's a jumbled sentences game with the present perfect tense in focus. So there are 5 rounds, 5 different sentences that students need to put in the correct order, and they are all from the story, but they are extracted from it and teaches about the negative form of the present perfect.
Find the past participle form of the following verbs.
This is a word search game with the past participle forms. You can see the simple words that they already know, and then they need to look for the past participle that they either acquired throughout the story or they just see and look for them in here and just revise the different forms. The fourth.
Do you like dandelions too? Can you label the picture?
The first activity is, again, a content and language integrated learning game that teaches about the parts of the dandelion. We really like these activities because it's a very symbolic plant. It was carried through the illustration throughout the whole poem. So we decided to add one informative, fun activity that is not about grammar, and that needs a bit more of biology knowledge and science.
Fantastic.
And as the answers pop back, it's all right if you cannot find the right one for the first time, because eventually you will be able to do
Can you
it.
say these expressions
sorry.
and sentences? Read them out loud and send the recording to your teacher.
And this one is our newest engine, the voice recording. Here we have given the students a list of things to read, a list of expressions, and then they can record it and send it to their teacher. This is the latest one.
Sorry. What can I wish for? Seeds of dandelion. And then I can listen to it, which I will not because it's always a terrible experience. And can just send it to my teacher. And it will be visible in the teacher's dashboard as well.
The
And-
end.
And this feature actually has been recommended by you. So we are really proud to present this one, the voice recording and the word annotation also. And it's wonderful that AI made it all possible for us to do and finally include these features.
Exactly. Thank you. So these were 2 books from the library, including some of these AI features that we mentioned. And before moving on to the teacher's dashboard and some methodological details, let me very, very, very quickly show you just a page of a flashcard, because that's another interesting kind of type of content.
This is Egypt.
This is for vocabulary building. Some flashcard sets are just collections of words around useful vocabulary, while some are directly related to books like this one.
Sand,
You can turn the cards over, you can listen to the words
sand,
as many times as you wish, and then you can again test your own pronunciation. Sand.
Yeah.
You get immediate feedback. Schond.
Ooh, ooh.
A more moderate woohoo from the bunny.
desert,
So this is another type of content, but you will also find nursery rhymes, songs, activity books as well in the library. So I absolutely recommend you to download it and browse it. Some other features briefly is the My Books section. These are the books that were assigned to me by my teacher. So this is where all the books would pop up where what you assign to the students. Offline is really great because the books that you download are available in the app as long as you have a subscription, even without connection. So if your connection is not stable, or you simply do not want the children to browse around the internet, then you can just remove the internet and go offline. We also have search options in the app for the kids based on different topics, genres, the levels, the newest books for them. And last but not least, we have a dashboard for them where they can see their own progress, what they are actually doing in the app, what are the books they interact with. Here they can collect their badges and see what books they have completed and which ones are yet to be read. They can also pick their favorite topics, favorite books, and in the test center, they can either fill out a placement test, which consists of 30 questions and is powered by Lexile, or this is where the reading comprehension test that I mentioned before would show up for them. So I will show you the reading comprehension test where you can generate it, and this is where they would see it, and it would appear like this. So now let me move on to the teacher's dashboard. 1 second. And then we are going to move on to methodology. So briefly about the teacher's dashboard, this is where you can find a lot of information about the books, the flashcards, and the songs. This helps you a lot in designing your classes because you can browse based on level, based on topic or grammar. So if you know that, for example, you want to teach about animals and the alphabet because you're on a beginner level, you can just pick these, and you can also pick, let's say, present tenses, because you are teaching beginner students, and you have all the books matching your requirements here. You see the different data about them, even the accent, you can match it to your needs. You can assign the book to a group of students, a single student, and the same way you can also generate, you just pick the books and you click on Generate Comprehension Quiz. And then you see all the recommended questions here based on these books. You can swap them if you don't like them. You can pick something else. And then once you're ready, you can just assign it to a student or group of students, and it will pop up in their app as I showed you on the previous screen. And the same way you can also do the vocabulary test. So I want actually it to include 30 questions or 30 words, and it lists you all the relevant words from these two books that I picked. And here you have your test, which you can download in a PDF form. So it does not necessarily have to be a test. It can be just a dictionary for the students. You can just ask them to write a definition in English or on their own language, or even draw maybe the words. So it's really up to you. What it really helps you with is to list the most important words of these books, and then you can use it freely. So these are the two other AI features that we just recently introduced. We also have many books with activity tips, but we will get back to this later. So before we move on to how to implement it, the last thing I would like to show you is the statistics. So you see in a given time frame how much time your students were reading. You have a leaderboard. You have your list of students. You can range them based on the number of books they read, or the assigned books they read, the books they started. You have so many, yes, use it. What did I do? Statistics. Yeah, I will just go on my profile because that I know. Then you can see individual statistics about the students' progress, how they are doing in the games, 88%, 100%. And then you can also see which books they exactly interacted with, only opened the books, completed the books, when, and I can hear the voice recording here. I'm not sure. Yes, so this is already available here. I'm not going to torture you with my reading. So this is the teacher's dashboard, but we also have a lot of supporting materials, and we also have our own ideas of how to implement it. And also, again, based on feedback we received, we know more or less how you are using BOOKR. So again, I would like to ask Kinga about this question. Oh, I think I will let you actually share your screen, because then you can show whatever you'd like. So how do you use BOOKR Class in the classroom, and how do we support the teachers? Now you're on mute. Kinga, you're on mute.
Here, thank you. So I would like to start off from our website, because we have plenty of wonderful resources and ideas on our blog. Besides the activity tips in the teacher's dashboard, of course. So the blog posts are more general, but give you an idea what to do with flashcards, what to do with books, how to start working with BOOKR Class, pro tips and tricks. We also have a resources site where we have two wonderful materials. One of them is the downloadable collection. I need to just here. This is a printable collection which is published every month with the most important special days that you can celebrate if you would like to focus on these in your classroom. And each of these special days is accompanied with book recommendations from our library, printable materials like worksheets and games, and activity tip documents. These are actually from the teacher's dashboard. So either you look for the book in the teacher's dashboard and you download the activity tip, or you can find it here as well. So you can see that in January we started with the new, or in February, sorry, with the new school year, but I would like to jump to Valentine's Day because it's very cute, which is page 51. There's a very short description of the day, and then you can see the book recommendations. We have several books at different levels. You can see level 3, level 4, level 6, and 7. Then we have a recommended flashcard set as well, and we have the activity tips for Valentine's Day book from our library, and for hedgehogs on Valentine's Day, and then you will see the printable materials as well here for each book and on their own as well. So you can just print this resource out, pick the pages you like, and then you have a full lesson covered. The other resource that might be a bit more useful if you are starters is the teacher's dashboard, or the teacher's handbook, I'm sorry, which is the ultimate guide on how to implement BOOKR Class into your lessons. We have an introduction of the product itself, and we have unit plans, 2 unit plans at each level to give an example on how to incorporate our books into your teaching and into your curriculum. So 1 unit plan is 3 lessons long, and we decided to do so to show you that it's possible to build more lessons on simply 1 book, but we also have a condensed, shortened 3-in-1 lesson, which is 1 lesson long. And each of these units have different activities with different focus and organization. We have speaking, writing, reading, listening, vocab, and grammar focused exercises, and the classroom organization varies as well. There are different subjects that we touch upon, especially in content and language integrated learning, and we also included ideas for differentiation for underachievers and fast finishers as well. And we also have the printable extra materials here. I will just go to the parts that are the most useful for you, I believe, which is the description, the general description of the BOOKR levels, what they cover, what they are. Then we have some pro tips that can be applicable for every book. So these are general ideas for 21st century skills improvement, for communicative skills, and then we will start with the unit plans. So level 1 has these characteristics. So this is a more detailed description of the level, and then comes the info page of the book, and then you will see the warm-up activity, the session itself with 8 different activities. So these are the instructions and the answer key. And this is the differentiation idea. And then there is a wrap-up activity to close your lesson and an evaluation activity for your students to do. And after the 3 lessons and the condensed lesson, you will find all the printable materials. I would like to show you them to you, but I don't have the time, unfortunately, so please download it from the website. It's for free, as well as the free trial and monthly downloadable as well. So besides this, we also have a teachers community, which goes very strong. We have pro tips there, we have lesson plans, we have the extra materials printed there. So let me, Anna, do we have time for me to show the rest of this?
I think what would be very great to talk about some practical tips for maybe like 5 minutes max.
Alrighty, thank you. So you can align your curriculum with the BOOKR stories based on the topics, the grammar structure, special days, and the skill development. So if you don't know how to start, first of all, you need to think what you would like to use BOOKR for. If you would like to focus on the vocabulary, then you should go with the topic. So if you are teaching farm animals for beginner language learners, then you should go to the teacher dashboard, type in farm animals, and look for books on level 2 and level 3, or level 1, level 2. You can do the same with grammar structures. If you would like to focus on present simple and daily routine, you type that in, and then you will find all the books that are relevant for you in that particular topic. The special days and holidays can be fun because then BOOKR Class is a reward for your students. And you can use it, of course, as reading and listening improvement. If you set, for example, a challenge to read 5 books in 1 month from this and this level, and then BOOKR can accompany your teaching through the whole year. You can tailor BOOKR Class to your lesson. You can build a whole lesson on it. You can use it as a warm-up or wrap-up activity. You can use it as pleasure reading. You can use it as compulsory homework, or you can use it for differentiation. For example, extra practice for underperforming students, or extra exercise in the classroom for fast finishers while the others are still working. So there's plenty of ideas there, and most of these are included in the example lesson plans of the teacher's handbook. So this is just really the draft of it. And there are several methods that can be that can accompany BOOKR Class. So if you prefer something communicative, you can go for dialogic reading to generate a discussion while you are reading the story. This engages the students so much. You just stop after the first page, the third page, the fifth page, you ask a question, and then they will start chatting about the content or just remembering what has already happened, and it engages the students to a great extent. I have experience. I love doing this with my students. You can use it for more classic ways of teaching. You can use it for clear TPR, drama, or even project-based learning. And it works with most classroom organizational formats, like frontal whole group, individual work, pair, or group work, if you give a tablet for smaller groups, or a flipped classroom. If you want the formal or whole group, you can project the books. If you prefer the individual or pair work, then you can hand out tablets, or they can use their own smartphones if that's all right at your school. And last but not least, we have worksheets coming. This has also been a suggestion from our users. So here they are. We are working on them right now, so they are not yet available, but they are coming soon. And I think, Anna, I'll give you back the word. Shall I keep sharing, or?
No, I think we're good. I
All
might
right.
share some more. So thank you so much, Kinga, and for all the details that we just shared about BOOKR Class, and all the nice comments. Thank you so much in the chat box. If you have any questions, please, this is the best time to send them in the Q&A. We already received a few, which I will very quickly go through, but I answered them in writing. And just to summarize what we've heard today, as I see Google kicked me out. It does not want me to share my screen anymore. In any case, let me summarize what we've heard today about BOOKR Class. It's that, first of all, what we really appreciated and why we believe that it's a good, again, can be a good product for you, is because it's created specifically for language learners. It's not an app that was originally created for native speakers, but really something for language learners. And all the books are created in that way. It's a very high quality input, both visually and in text. It's very important, and we have the synchronized animation, all the scaffolding features to support the students' learning process, and also the overall experience of the students. So that's That's very important for us too. And also that the app is safe to use. You only find these books in it, these more than 1,000 titles and flashcards, and the kids won't bump into any content they do not need at their level. And actually it's growing content. So there's new books added continuously. And I wanted to mention this also because there was one question about how many books have got the voice recording. Currently, it's around 25 books, but as we are growing the library continuously, we keep having more and more. Also, it means that if anyone buys a yearly subscription, then you keep getting more because in 1 year, we upload hundreds of new titles. The recording will be available for you. That was a question we received. If you're interested to learn more, either about technical details or statistics and data and how to use the app, then feel free to reach out to us. I suggest to use the email address support@bookrclass.com or any of our email addresses. We are ready and happy to help you. And if you can utilize this app while conducting online classes, absolutely. So you can just share the screen the way I shared it and use it for online classes. However, I do suggest that each student has their own login because then they can just read on their own at home, and in the teacher's dashboard, it's possible for you to keep track of what they are actually doing. Annual payments. For school usage, we recommend annual the annual license. However, if you would like to use it either with family, or I think we could even go for like small tutoring groups up to 3 students, then the monthly plans are available. If you download the app and go into the App Store or the Google Play Store, you will also see the monthly plans as well. And if anyone would like to have a participation certificate, then please write an email to us. Rika, can you please put the email address that we should use for this, either again like a hello@ or your email address in the chat box? Please send us an email and we can send you a participation certificate. And if you are interested to learn more or interested to use BOOKR Class, then we have a bunch of resellers all over the world that you can find online. We are present in Central America, Latin America. They are still asleep. So I rather mention the Middle East and the Far East, like Egypt, Greece, India, Indonesia, Korea, Turkey, the Philippines, Malaysia. So feel free to go on our website. Also, you have the shop here, and you can also reach out to us on our website or in an email. So if you're interested to learn more and would like to implement BOOKR Class either already this school year or from next school year, then please reach out to us. So if you would like to have your certificate, we are trying to save your email addresses, but please send us an email. That's the best, to hello@bookrclass.com. And then we can answer you with the certificate. That would be the best. And don't forget to join the BOOKR Class teacher community on Facebook.
Because I have so much more to say. And I had so little time, and I know that there are plenty of things there that might help you and guide you through the whole process. And there you can ask and you can share. So we are really open to discussion. It's just that 1 hour is so short. It's never enough.
And here's the link to the Facebook group too. So I hope to see you there. Oh, and then one more question. If the students in the class don't have a device in the class, if not in the class, then every family has a device. So that's what we see, that more people have smart devices than books. So please, so in that case, they can just use either their own devices or their family's devices.
Or you can project it actually from your computer or use the interactive board, because I didn't have an interactive board. I had a projector in my classroom the last year, and I just projected it and we solved the games together, so they could run out and tap on the things on my computer, or they told me the answers and then I just tapped in. So it's a more limited, but still a nice experience for the students.
Thank you for all the questions. If you would like a certificate, please drop us an email at hello@bookrclass.com with your full name to include on your certificate. So send us an email, write your name, and then we will be happy to send the certificate back to you. And we hope to see you soon in the teacher community. Thank you so much for your contribution, for your nice words, for your enthusiasm, and we are very hopeful to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.